Hello, everyone. My name is Henware. This is Terry Candlestick. We
Hello.
are, we are picking up on Jenna's route in Project Echo.
That's right. All right. I stand there next to my chair, undecided.
Also, we have a there is a pretty important question here. So I usually voice act Jenna. However, since this is Jenna's route, she's going to be spending a lot of time talking. Do you want to voice act Jenna instead?
Yeah, I can voice act Jenna.
All right. All right, everyone. We're going to hear Terry's best girl voice. We're going to find out if he is doing the whole thing where you pull all these muscles together and sit up straight and pull your
Like, oh my
tongue to the
goodness, like, I don't do
oh
that. Oh my
my.
god.
Yeah, we'll try and see how he sounds.
Does that sound like what Jenna might sound like? Like, when you look at her, does that register as, like, the type of voice? That sounds kind of Valley Girl-ish.
I don't know what Jen would sound like. She would probably sound Native Americanish.
Oh, no, we have to do an accent. Oh, thanks, Finn.
But I mean, at the same time, here's the thing: when I worked in mental health, I was working with a lot of Native Americans because there's a reservation near where
Oh, yeah, they have a
yeah.
lot of problems with that.
Yeah, and so they kind of have Native Americans in there all the time. But the thing is, they don't usually have these like super thick accents.
It's like barely there, right?
Yeah, it's kind of just barely there. Like I guess the people who just never leave the reservation, maybe.
All right, should we get on with the route after 22 minutes?
Yeah, let's get on to the route after 22 minutes. So 22 minutes from now, we will. All right, I stand there next to my chair, undecided.
I'm gonna follow Jenna
Jenna
and
and
Leo.
Leo. I watched Jenna's tail disappear through the sagebrush. They're headed down the same trail that I had used to get to Lake Emma.
DJ!
TJ did seem to head off in that direction while we were fighting, though I can't imagine he'd go to the lake. I should go with them to help find the links. I'm also a little worried about Leo. It's been a long time since I've seen him that pissed. When I get there, I find Leo leaning back with his rear up against a big boulder on the shore. Bittersweet memories flood in. That rock is almost as much of a staple of my childhood as the actual lake is. It's weird like that. Every memory I have of this place is dreamy and gold tinged, but always has a hint of sadness about it, no matter what the situation was. Jenna's standing in front of Leo, her arms folded as she talks to him. I can't see his face, but his posture is sagging and his ears are down, looking way older than he actually is. Goodness, there's like just mucus in the back of my throat.
Oh,
Be
dude, I
sitting
know.
here. I'm gonna be sitting here like all day, just.
Dude, I was making a video uh earlier, like just before we got on, and it was the same thing. I was clearing my throat constantly. It's just pain in the butt.
Hey man, as long as you don't jack off on stream, we should be fine.
You know what? You can't see me, so I don't have a face cam. That that that
those of you,
that's you problem, bro.
those of you who don't know what we're referencing, you remember that guy DSP we were talking about? He jacked off on stream. People made fun of him for like a decade for it.
That was hilarious. Yeah, that face, it'll still pop up. People love using that as a as just an image for TSP.
It's funny as hell. All right.
Oh, the camera was on. Whoops. Oh well. And that's exactly how you should deal with an embarrassing situation. It never happened. Oh well. Or it happened. Okay, continuing.
He was so happy.
He was very happy with himself.
All right. He also has like post nasal drip, so he's always clearing his throat constantly. That's what it's a reference. All right. I stand back for a while, feeling awkward about intervening at this point. Leo occasionally shakes his head, then takes out his phone to look at it. I can see Jenna's getting annoyed, but then she says something and Leo turns his head to look back at me. I seize up for a second, but Jenna is beckoning me with her paw while Leo isn't looking. I start stumbling over the rocks towards them as Leo looks back down at his phone, and Jenna starts walking towards me.
Just talk to him. He'll listen to you.
Yeah, we'll stay with Jenna.
Yeah,
I look towards Leo, hunched forward, ears down, looking like an angry gargoyle perched on the ledge of a church. Hold on, Jenna. I turn back around to face her.
Hmm?
I look back over my shoulder at Leo, watching his ears flick towards us. I think. I think Leo wants to be left alone. Jenna folds her arms and looks past me.
You sure? I thought you could get him to calm down.
I look at Jenna for a while, realizing that I'd just rather talk to someone more collected rather than a big angry wolf. Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, all right. Should we head back then?
Okay. As we start disappearing into the sagebrush, I look back in time to catch a glimpse of Leo looking over his shoulder. I look back down at the ground, wondering if it would have been a good idea to at least tell him that I feel like I needed to be like he needed time alone. I noticed Jenna looking around, her huge ears perked up like wide sails. What are you looking for?
TJ.
If it was up to me, I'd be leaving TJ alone as well, but Jenna always worried about him. I follow her through the brush in silence, unsure of what to say.
So, why didn't you want so why didn't you hang back with Leo?
I move along with her for a while, thinking it over. I don't know. When he's in a bad mood, he's really only good for a fight, you know?
Hmm.
I catch up and start walking alongside her since I was starting to taste the dirt being kicked up by her feet. Yeah, thought it would be a good idea to let him cool down for a bit. I sort of envy the way she's dressed right now, with her short shorts and tank top. Jeans don't exactly breathe well. I finally start to see our picnic again. Carl's still sitting in the lawn chair, his head hanging over the back and smoke wafting around him. Jenna stops and puts her paws on her hips, looking around. Where do you think he went?
There aren't many places he could have gone.
Her eyes seem to settle, and I follow her gaze to a clump of brush and trees next to the river. If TJ had anywhere to hide in a short amount of time, in the short amount of time that he did, that would really be the only place he could have done it. Without a word, Jenna starts in that direction. Tag along awkwardly, kind of feeling like I'm invisible to her right now. As soon as we break through the brush, we spot TJ. I watch as Jenna immediately goes to his side and sits down. TJ's ears perk, but otherwise he doesn't look up. After a while, Jenna wraps an arm around TJ's shoulder. I see him bristle for a second, and Jenna says something to him that I don't quite catch. Finally, he leans in and hugs her, and I can hear him sniffling. I'm starting to feel like I'm just intruding, and I start to back away. But Jenna sees me and jerks her head.
Where are you going, Chase? Come here.
TJ pulls back from Jenna and starts wiping his eyes. Chase? Uh, yeah. I feel like TJ would be embarrassed to have me around, and he probably is, but Jenna's pretty insistent, so I move forward and stand next to them.
I was just telling TJ about the time we used to float the river on the old inner tube.
I smile and sit down next to Jenna, stretching my legs out. Do you remember that, Chase? His voice is strained and a little crackly, but he seems to have things under control now. Do I? I always thought it was ridiculous to use one of those things when you could just float on your back.
Sorry, we're not all living floaties, Chase.
We sit there for a while, and now it isn't as awkward. I feel like if it were just me and TJ, things would be a lot more tense. Jenna has a way of making things feel natural and easy. It's like her confidence is a shield to all my weird, awkward stupidity. I hear TJ shift and sniffle as as he wipes his face again. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't.
Oh, no, you stop right there, TJ.
He does stop. It's hard not to when she has a tone like that.
Flynn is an absolute dick. Never let him affect how you feel about things. He only thinks about himself and how he feels. Right, Chase?
I feel like this is just a little bit unfair to Flynn. Yeah, he was pretty selfish, but he did care about other people, especially Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
At least, I think he does, even though he hardly ever admits to it. Probably best to agree with Jenna right now, though. Yeah, he's he's just not thinking straight right now. I think coming here might have been a bad idea.
That really shouldn't matter. In fact, we probably should have gone to the lake. What happened, happened, and there's not much we can do about it. Letting it absolutely rule our lives like this, to the point of preventing us from going where we want to go, that's pretty messed up. We all went through it, and it was awful, but we stayed friends. And here we are. Maybe we should celebrate that instead of accusing each other of bullshit?
Yeah, of course. What Flynn had been saying wasn't complete bullshit. None of us really know exactly what happened, except TJ.
I didn't have any reason to come here. And if I had the same mindset as Flynn, I never would have.
TJ glances over at Jenna. How were things with you and
My family? Same as it's been for the past 5 years. I don't know.
maybe you could try. Jenna sighs deeply. Sorry, I didn't mean.
No, it's fine. No, TJ, it's fine. It's just.
She seems to be thinking hard about what she's going to say. And the things that Jenna could say about her family. I have too many bad memories about that.
That family is completely broken. Like, there's no fixing it. Going back there would just mean trouble. I've learned my lesson. With Adam and Dad gone, it's just my mom and Jeremy now, anyway. Not much of a family to go back to.
Has your dad not Has anyone seen him since?
As far as I know, no. But I really wouldn't. But I wouldn't really care if he is back. And if he really is missing, well, Mom never filed a missing persons report, so I guess it wouldn't matter.
I'm sorry.
Why? You're not the one that messed it all up.
TJ looks away, his ears down. Jenna sighs and puts an arm around TJ's shoulders.
And here I am bringing everyone down when the point was to make you feel better. Chase, remind us of something happy.
I jump, then scramble after being put on the spot.
Thanks, Jenna.
Remember when we called it Ye Y'all River?
I remember when you called it yeehaw. Chase, you had a bit of a speech impediment back then.
Uh, yeah. I remember that. It was kinda cute. It's quiet for a moment, then Jenna gives TJ a little nudge.
So, how's school going, TJ?
Yeah, it's not bad. I got accepted into the athletic training program, which is really cool because they're really selective. I think I'm one of 20 that they chose.
Wow! Wow, that's fantastic, TJ.
TJ smiles, though he's still looking at his feet. Thanks. Hey, but you got into Weston.
I did.
I furrow my brow at that. Hey, come on. Weston is like the stereotypical best school in the country. She looks over at me and smiles.
It's great, I know. Just a lot of stress. Sometimes I'd like to get a break.
That was a little surprising to hear from Jenna. Usually, she was so energized and had to get her done and had a get her done attitude about almost anything. That's why I assumed she got into Weston in the first place. Maybe, maybe you should take a break then. It's kind of up to you, isn't it?
When he said that she had a get her done accent or get her done attitude, that just made me think of Larry the Cable
Get her
Otter.
done.
Larry the
Which one?
Cable Otter. Get her
Yeah.
done. Just because I want it doesn't mean I need it. Hey, Tish, weren't you wanting to go hiking while we were here?
Yeah, I know things are a bit bad right now, but it would be a lot of fun to go.
Of course, TJ. I was planning to go with you anyway.
Oh, cool! At this point, all of TJ's gloomy demeanor disappears. His tail quirked and his ears raised up. Jenna looks sideways at me, meaningfully. Um, uh, yeah, definitely didn't want to do that. I'm not even doing anything, and already I'm sweating buckets and looking at the shiny water longingly. I would have jumped in the water by now if TJ wasn't here. For some reason, that would seem inappropriate. Right now, I feel something pressed down on my paw, which is splayed out behind me. Looking over, I see that Jenna has her paw on mine, leaning on it. Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm going. Yes! Jenna lifts her paw off mine, and I gulp. It didn't really hurt, but something about her suddenly touching me like that.
It's settled then. We should probably get back. We want to get a lot of rest before the hike tomorrow. Oh, Jenna, manipulative as always.
She's like, you're going to go on this hike, whether you like it or not. or I'm going to break all of your fingers.
I know, right? Oh, she's so cute. And then to see how manipulative she is, like, oh.
She's like Murphy from Dresden Files. She's a she's a lady police officer that Harry Dresden knows. There's this demon dude that they team up with at some point. And his opinion of Murphy is she's small but fierce.
Yeah, that's her. Small but fierce.
She's the Murph's the one who like gets a shotgun full of buckshot and just will like run right up to a hellhound, stick the barrel in his mouth, and pull the trigger. So like, this thing gets her and rips her apart. She's like, "Fuck it, we ball."
Yeah. I'm
You
gonna
can
get
imagine a
you.
character like if you could imagine a character sprinting and then sliding like onto their knees and their back just to shoot something in the face. Just
That's
one
her,
tap it, that's Murph. Yeah.
huh? Yeah, that sounds like Jenna. She wants to get her claws
Go
in
for it,
you.
Jenna. Yeah. Go for it, Jenna.
So, where are we headed, TJ?
Jenna sounds like she's in a much better mood than yesterday. We all are, really. The canyon. Echo Canyon, more specifically. You ever been? He looks at us both with a grin.
Nope.
No, me neither. His ears fall a little. Well, you know the town is named after it, right? How have you not been there before? I shrug and Jenna laughs.
Because you have to walk through 3 miles of snake infested desert to get there.
That makes me bristle because there definitely are snakes here. I can't help but scan the brush. You really you really shouldn't be worried about that. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. And they do have a rattle, so just listen for it. Also, the tarantulas, the big ass spiders, they're the ones who will stand on the rocks and wait for you, and then they'll jump on your head and bite you in the head. They'll jump on your head and bite you. Right, Chase?
Oh no!
Sometimes they'll even hide in the brush and then jump and get you. They'll jump on your face that time. Oh!
You can
Wait. No.
you can feel their stares as they watch you pass by and approach.
What's really bad is when they slowly. What's really bad is when they slowly crawl up the back of your pant, like, oh.
You can even hear him going, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, Chase.
There's no escape.
Resistance is futile. Poor tarantulas.
Jenna grins and looks straight at me.
Yeah, you're right. The most dangerous animal that you'll find on these paths is the blonde.
I like how they went the exact direction we
Yeah,
went.
we did. She just likes to watch people suffer.
An involuntary shiver works its way up my spine. Jenna! TJ frowns. That's even less likely, Jenna. Great. Now that you've said it, I'm going to be all uptight for the rest of the hike.
You're welcome. All right, let's get going. We want to make it to the top by noon.
Okay, there is actually a really sneaky thing that she just did that I'll explain right now, really quick. Okay, so traumatic memories are sort of misfiled in the emotional part of the brain. And how memories are normally filed is in the logical part of the brain, and there's like emotional tags. And the chronologically time-based memory, right? In the logical anyway, so memories are stored chronologically in the logical part of the brain, and then they are it's over here actually. And then there are tags to the emotional side of the brain. in that memory, in the chronological part of the memory. Traumatic memories are misfiled into the emotional part of the brain. It's why you can't really just normally think about them on command all the time very easily. Uh, if you do think about them on command, they're really traumatic and they feel really fresh because, like, normal memories are being processed over and over and over, and your brain is actually sort of incorporating new ideas into those memories. So, if something happened to you when you were 5 years old, when you're 35 years old, you'll have that 30 years of new memories and new ideas and concepts modifying that older memory. If it's misspelled into the emotional side of the brain, so if it's traumatic, it can't change. So your brain, like, basically is always trying to chip away at these memories to try and take little pieces of them and slowly refile that into the logical side of the brain. It's just not particularly amazing at it. Here's the thing that's interesting that she might be going for, but I don't think the writer actually knows about this, is if you're doing bilateral stimulation, that's a fancy schmancy way of saying bilateral, both sides of the body, and stimulation, you're doing stuff or feeling something, you can effectively encourage your brain to more easily move those memories over if you're thinking about them. So, an example of this, an example of bilateral stimulation would be going for a hike. So, by Jenna bringing up blonde tarantulas and they're getting ready to go on a hike, she knows that Chase is going to be thinking about tarantulas and all that the entire time. So, that might take these memories and help chip away at them to get them properly, get more parts of them properly filed into the correct part of the brain. However, I don't think that's what the author actually knew existed or understood, but that's something that happened. It's why people who go on long walks all the time seem to have dealt with a lot of their issues. They always
Hmm.
seem happier. So anyway,
So
if
basically,
we
when
think
you do a bilateral activity and you're thinking about something that was traumatic to you, you're basically working through the I guess you could say the PTSD and the effects of it.
yeah, you're working through the traumatic memory, yeah,
Okay.
you're sort of helping your brain pull it out of this like stasis in the emotional side of the brain and push it into the logical side of the brain where it's supposed to be because they don't change very much in the emotional side of the brain. Instead, they're there. And whenever it gets brought up, you kind of relive the trauma as it happened there. And it, as time goes on, it starts making less and less sense because, if you're 5 and this really traumatic event happens to you, you don't have a frame of reference. If you're 35 and you remember that memory from 35 years ago, but it's still traumatic and misfiled, effectively your brain for that memory reverts back to a 5-year-old. And that's how that's being experienced. But a non-traumatic memory from when you were 5, when you remember that memory, your brain is still a 35-year-old now. It doesn't suddenly regress for that memory. So now you have new perspective on it.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A few hours in, and TJ's quite a bit ahead of us. I feel a little bad about it, but I think he likes it that way. Probably wants to think after yesterday. Jenna and I walk side by side, and she's making sure that I drink water the entire time.
You should be done with that by now.
She gestures to my water bottle, which is still half full. Ugh, come on. I've had like 3 already. I take a sip, then almost snort water as Jenna tips up the bottom of the bottle.
Hey, I made TJ a promise here. You're an otter. You need it.
Stop! Oh wait, sorry.
You
I
have
cough a few
water.
times.
You
I
have
cough a
water.
few. I cough a few times, water running down my chin and chest. Even though it feels good, I wipe it away with a forearm. Jenna chuckles before we start walking again.
Actually, you don't need more than water. Actually, you don't really need more water than me or TJ, as he could tell you. The water thing is actually more of a psychological need as opposed to a physical one.
Oh, yeah? I look over my wet camera bag, which definitely didn't need water.
Yeah, back when they weren't really separate. uh, Yeah, you know, back when there weren't really any ethics in research, they separated an otter pup from water, never allowed to swim.
That makes me pause. Technically, in this day and age, otters don't really need to swim. A trip to the supermarket gets all that done. But something about not being allowed to be in water, to feel the cool, isolated space that I so longed to be in. What happened? What happened?
What happened? What? What happened? Depressed, disengaged, neurotic in general. Then, when they were done, they just set him loose into the world. He killed himself a few years later.
Wow.
Yep. I mean, ethics are in place now, of course. Not that the psychological association is any better. You probably heard about their role in the whole advanced interrogations controversy.
Like the waterboarding stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. But it really makes you realize how powerful the brain is. It's not all physical necessities.
Must have been pretty awful for him that he killed himself. I can't imagine. Talking about offing oneself, though, it's got me thinking about Jenna's brother. So, uh,
You wanting to talk about Adam?
no! Well, sort of did, but I don't think that would be appropriate at all. I was just wondering, are you gonna go see your family sometime during the trip? We talked about it earlier, but I guess you really didn't give an answer. Jenna snorts loudly, tossing her head back.
You're kidding, right?
I feel my cheeks flush, knowing that I might have said something really offensive. I'm not really in tune with how things are with Jenna's family. Leo and sometimes Flynn dealt with most of that. I mean, aren't you a little curious?
Curious is the wrong word.
Oh?
Maybe morbidly curious. Anyway, they haven't bothered contacting me since I left. So, as far as I can tell, they're not missing me.
Guys, there's a giant dip over here, so watch your step. TJ is quite a bit ahead of us now. I don't even see him anymore around all the boulders and brush. I pick up the pace and Jenna follows. Well, do you miss them? She doesn't say anything for a while, which tells me she's really thinking about it.
No.
She says it, finally, surprising me a little with her bluntness.
At least, not my mom and dad. Not even Adam.
Really? Jenna shifts around as she grabs another water bottle out of the backpack and hands it to me.
Adam, he had problems. Mom and dad fucked him up, of course. but he took it out on me. He did some messed up stuff.
I debate whether or not I should ask what exactly that messed up stuff was, but I'm way too scared I'm way too scared of what it might be.
Jeremy, though, I guess I wouldn't mind seeing him again.
I give her an incredulous look. See, Jeremy's the one I would have thought she wouldn't have wanted to talk to.
Eh, yeah. Now Clint is the one that fucked up Jeremy. But he really was a good person before then.
Jeremy was, for as long as I can remember, a royal dick. A bully to me, TJ, and Carl. Along with Clint, he terrorized our childhood. That is, until Leo showed up. I'll never forget the day Leo rammed Jeremy's head into a tree and punched Clint so many times the face of so many times in the face his eyes almost swelled shut. Of course, Leo never got in any trouble because neither of our parents gave a shit.
Environment is really important to how you develop as a person.
I think for a second. Well, you turned out all right.
Environment and temperament make us who we are. Some people some people can just take more.
It's clear that her temperament was a lot stronger than mine, whichever that was. If I had parents like that, I don't know how I would have survived. I take another gulp of water, and it's then that I realize how badly I need to pee. Looking off to the side, I spot a rather large boulder surrounded by sagebrush. Hey, you go ahead. I gotta take a piss. Jenna quirks her muzzle and folds her arms.
Sure you don't want me to wait up for you?
Uh,
I'm kidding.
she turns and starts walking up the trail.
Watch out for spiders.
I suddenly don't have to piss anymore.
Yeah. Strangely enough, my jeans feel very cool.
Sometimes Jenna's jokes were so dry that I had a hard time figuring out if she was really joking or not. I dodge my way around the sagebrush and tumbleweeds towards the boulder and start to piss. Jenna really is an enigma. She's nice enough and smart, but she always has this edge about her that always has me on guard for some reason. Fur prickles on the back of my neck. I'm not sure what it is, but something isn't right. I look left and right, and the small chance that someone else might be coming up the trail. It's weird feeling like this in broad daylight. Normally I don't get so uptight unless it's dark. Then I look at where I'm peeing. I see what looks like this eight-legged thing that looks kind of pissed off, and it's all wet.
Great big frown on it. The frown between its fangs.
Imagine. He's like, man, he just accidentally pisses directly on his tarantula and it jumps on him.
It's like, you just hear it. So, bitch!
It jumps up the stream and bites him somewhere. He's like, oh!
I got F'd in the D.
Oh my god, I'll suck the venom out.
The venom's tangy.
I hear it's the opposite, a species that can see better at night. Something's watching you from the brush. A shiver runs right up my spine and I tremble under its influence. As if of its own accord, my head whips around, immediately focusing on a clump of sagebrush 30 feet away. In there, right in the middle, someone's face is staring at me. I can only call it a face because there's two eyes and a mouth. I've never seen anything like it. It's flat, wide, and stretched out, sagging where the chin should be. I can't help myself. Peel over it.
Thought you would like this part. There's like this face. He just hears his voice going, "I am watching you pee."
He's like, oh, and like the stream just shoots out. It's like I am watching you.
I am watching.
I think we're having way too much fun with this.
This episode, we laugh about pee jokes.
I yell loudly and stumble to my side as I whip my body around to defend myself, somehow conscious of the fact that my dick is still out. Then it all comes together. I stare for a few seconds longer, then force out a tight, high-pitched laugh. Are you fucking kidding me? It's a rock. A white rock with a little sage with the sagebrush twigs, and the sagebrush twigs have fallen over it perfectly to give it similar features to that of a face. Ah, good old pareidolia. I sigh and rub my own face with my paws, feeling my heart hammering in my chest. I always did this shit to myself. As I lower my paws and notice a wet streak across the left side of my pants, I haven't finished peeing yet. Fucking son of a bitch.
They'd be funny if he said something along the lines of, "I noticed my hands are really wet, and so is one side of my face."
Yes, he like rubbed his face.
Rubbed piss into his face. I know, right? Why do I smell like piss?
Damn it!
Damn it!
I hiss and turn back to the boulder, trying to work myself into a peeing mood again. Finally, as I start finishing up, prickling feeling on my neck starts up again. I try to ignore it, but it's getting worse and worse. I shake my hips around a few times, and zip up and start back around the boulder. It's at that point that I give a quick glance back to the brush. The rock isn't there anymore. I stare, one paw on the boulder, feeling my fur starting to bristle out over my body. What? Maybe it's because I'm at a different angle now. Feeling of being watched is overpowering, though. It's coming from the other side of the boulder I was just at. I look up the trail, but I don't see TJ or Jenna at all. I can't even hear them. I look back towards the boulder, wondering if I'm losing my mind. Gritting my teeth, I turn away and start back up the trail at a brisk walk, knowing that I'm acting just like a little kid. Despite that, I feel myself starting to panic a little, and soon enough I'm running up the trail and I'm not looking back.